Hey there, Shakers, and welcome back to another episode of Worth Your Salt, the podcast that's here to supercharge your marketing in the health and wellness space. I'm Jennifer Orechwa, StoryBrand Certified Guide, and over the past 2 decades, my team and I have tested, iterated, and learned what works in marketing so you don't have to. Now I'm here to help you apply the marketing systems that will help you succeed. At Salt Marketing, we're all about helping health and wellness practitioners like you build trust, authority, and a nonstop flow of clients. So if you're ready to take your marketing to the next level, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Today, I've got a really interesting episode for you. My guest today is an expert on growing a supplement business from literally nothing to an internationally known and trusted brand. He's traveled the world, given thousands of presentations, and devoted his life to helping people achieve perfect health. Today, we're going to dive into his incredible journey, from his humble beginnings and the pivotal moments that shaped his mission to the strategies that helped him build a worldwide wellness empire. Udo Erasmus is a true pioneer in the health and wellness industry. His journey began over 40 years ago, and since then, he's revolutionized the way we think about fats, oils, and overall health. He's the mastermind behind Udo's Choice, a global supplement brand that's impacted millions of lives. And he's the author of the groundbreaking book, Fats That Heal, Fats That Kill, with over 250,000 copies sold. Udo, thank you so much for being here today on Worth Your Salt.
Well, thank you for having me. So it should be fun.
So Udo, tell me a little bit about your early life and how those experiences shaped your path toward health and wellness.
I was born during the Second World War. I was born in Poland when it was part of Germany. My parents were from Latvia and Estonia, and I was a refugee when I was 2 years old, fleeing in horse-drawn hay wagons, mothers with young children. The communists were chasing us in tanks and trucks, and the Allies, which we like to think of as the good guys, were using us refugees as target practice, shooting us from planes on roads that were dirt roads with no military presence. And I remember not that much other than never feeling safe. And what happened during that time, I look at it as a gift now, by the way. And what happened at that time is we got everything stripped. We lost the country, we lost the community, we lost the farm, we lost the house, we lost the animals, we lost the fields, we lost the language, we lost the friends. So literally we escaped with the clothes we were wearing.
So how did your education in biochemistry and psychology influence your approach to wellness and to your business?
I got first into hard science, then into biology, then into biochemistry, then into psychology, then a year of medicine. And of course, you don't learn about life in biology. You learn about form and function. You don't learn about soul in psychology. You learn about thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. You don't learn about health in medicine. You learn about disease. And so I was always looking for where's the soul? Where's the life? Where's the health? Where's the good stuff? Because I'm interested in the good stuff because I've had enough of the bad stuff. So that's always been my drive.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, you mentioned being poisoned by pesticides in 1980 as a turning point. How did that experience redefine your mission and your goals?
I got poisoned by pesticides, and then I started looking at raising my standard. Wasn't that important to me when I was poisoned by my own testosterone in my 20s and 30s, doing stupid things, right? But now it became important. And so I started looking at biochemistry, by the way, is the common language between everything that we're talking about. Health, molecules, air, water, oxygen, so biochemistry is the common language. And so biochemistry is the thing that, and genetics. And those were my two loves in when I was studying biological sciences. Well, the penny dropped. You might say, the penny dropped. Oh my God. Because I went to a doctor and said, what do you have for pesticide poisoning? She said, nothing. Okay, I'm on my own. Okay. My health is my responsibility. I can't trust my doctor to fix what I broke. Right?
Mm-hmm. What was the vision behind creating Udo's Choice, the product line, and how did it align with your personal beliefs about health?
I studied molecules, but not specifically nutrition. And I got into fats because it was the most confusing area and I needed real answers. And at one point, and you hear it now a lot, people are saying, don't use seed oils, don't use omega-6s. Everybody's, they've been saying it the whole time I've been working on it. And I got to a point where I read a study that said omega-6 is an essential nutrient. Means you can't make it, you have to have it. You got to get it from outside. I had lots of good science background. I had no business background. And we built a business, or we made business decisions because we had standards. So we set the standards. We then worked made machineries to those standards. So you can't let oxygen, light, or heat damage the oil while it's being pressed, settled, filtered, filled. You keep it, put it in dark glass, you put a box around it, you keep it in the fridge, you treat it with a lot of care because you need to treat these oils with a lot of care. Otherwise, you damage them and then they lose their health benefits. And so we did that, and then we set the standards, and we would only work with people who followed our standards. Mm-hmm. I'm still pretty excited about it, right? And we were on fire, and it created a buzz, and everybody wanted to do business with us. And in 2 years, flaxseed oil went from nothing to second highest selling oil in the natural foods industry, which is where we were active. So that's kind of how that happened.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Now, you've worked in various fields and tried many things before focusing on health. How did those experiences contribute to your entrepreneurial mindset? All right, Udo, before we dive into how you built your wellness empire, I need to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Hey, Salt Nation, are you ready to grow your health and wellness business, but you're not sure where to start? I've got the perfect solution for you. Introducing a free custom marketing assessment designed just for health and wellness practitioners like you. Salt Marketing has partnered with StoryBrand to bring you a tailored approach that simplifies your marketing and helps you generate more revenue. Here's how it works. Visit us at saltmarketing.co to take our quick 10-minute assessment. You'll receive your free customized marketing analysis that helps you focus your time and energy exactly where you need to for the greatest success. Follow your plan and watch as your business grows and thrives. It's that simple. We believe in the power of a clear story and effective marketing strategy, and we want to share that with you. Don't miss out on this opportunity to get the answers you need to take your business to the next level. Head over to saltmarketing.co and take your free assessment today. Let's build your success story together. Welcome back to the Worth Your Salt podcast. I'm chatting today with the legendary Udo Erasmus, who's sharing his journey and insights on building a global wellness brand. And Udo, now that we have a little background, I want to jump into how you turned your vision into the thriving business that we know today.
Mm-hmm. The first book, it was called Fats and Oils. And I wrote it 3 times because the first time I got 60 pages into it and I kind of said, this is shit. A little self-evaluation here. And then the second one, I got 30 pages into it and it's like, I wouldn't buy this book. And I said, okay, I got to start over. And then the third time I started, it just fell into place. And literally, it's almost like I channeled it. The book ended up with 59 chapters. I literally wrote them from morning to night with just bathroom and sleep breaks and food breaks, but it literally just flowed out. And I then began to work with a partner under the Udo's Choice brand.
Yeah. When you first started the Udo's Choice product line, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced? How did you overcome those? Even
though we started from scratch without money, we didn't just say, oh my God, I found it. No, we said, do you have refrigeration at your factory? If they said yes, I'd hand them over to the guy who did the business deals to see if they could make a deal. If they said no, I would say, are you willing to bring it in? If they said yes, I say, call us when you have it. If they said no, I say, this is a good time to end the interview. We would not do business with people who would not take care of our precious oils. And of course, now Udo's Choice is a global brand available in over 50 countries. What strategies did you employ to scale that business internationally? Honestly, I did more than 5,000 talks. And at 5,000 talks is 17 years every day, including Saturday and Sundays. 17 years. And I did over 3,000 media interviews. And I did 1,500 staff trainings. And I was traveling everywhere and just talking to everybody. And again, it was the enthusiasm. And so, it's not like I'm a seasoned businessman and manager and all of that. No, the enthusiasm, I have to tell you, enthusiasm drives the project. If there's no enthusiasm, I would say to people, don't do it. For sure. What role did live presentations and media interviews play in building your brand and spreading your message? I did all the homework. And then I said, you know what, let's fix this problem. And so it literally came from footwork. Authors sometimes think that when the book is published, their work is done. No, that's when the work begins. And literally, wherever we go, sometimes there'd be 5 people, sometimes there'd be 2 people, sometimes there'd be 1,500 people. Biggest live talk I did had 2,100 people in Malaysia. And I would just talk about it, and the story made sense. The energy was there, and I would stay to answer all the questions, because I was literally I just wanted to help people. And I got a good reputation.
For sure. How did you approach marketing and educating the public on the benefits of healthy oils and other supplements?
I used to hear people talk about fats on buses where I heard nothing else. But somebody would say a sentence about fats and I'd hear it. I was that primed because I was obsessed. I was obsessed with this thing. So what I say to people is get quiet. First do the kingdom. And then out of that will come everything else. And I'm not talking about it in a religious sense. I'm talking about it as this is part of human nature. This is part of our biology. This is something about you and the ache in your heart or the discontent that you feel in your chest. Sometimes people call it heartache or thirst of the heart. That's your heart calling you to come home to your wholeness. So start with heartache. That's a really good place to start, and sit with heartache. Don't like we try to distract ourselves from it. No. Sit with it, feel it, be with it, accept it, acknowledge it. Might make you cry, but it won't hurt you and it won't kill you.
Very good. What was your strategy for entering into and thriving in the competitive supplement market?
Well, okay, so I got to a point in the research. There were two things that were important. One is I found out when I heard omega-6s are essential, and the next study I read said omega-6s give you cancer and kill you. And my head exploded. It's like, wait, I have to take it so it can kill me? No, there's something wrong here. This does not make any sense. And that forced me to look deeper. And I found out how much damage is done to oils, which are our most sensitive nutrients, how much damage is done to them by the industry when they process them and when we use them in a frying pan. And so I'm looking at that. And then I found out omega-6 is essential. That was known in 1929, confirmed in 1968. Omega-3 was a little more iffy, wishy-washy. That was confirmed in 1981. That was the year after I got poisoned. How's that for good timing? And I found out that 99% of the population doesn't get enough omega-3s for optimum health. And omega-3 is an essential nutrient. And they are 5 times more sensitive to damage than the omega-6s, which are already pretty sensitive to damage by light, oxygen, heat. And it was like, oh my God, if we could make omega-3s with health in mind, and so it's like, oh my God, I could help almost everybody. If we could make them with health in mind and get them out to the population, oh my God, we could help almost everybody. And that was the epiphany. I just found a purpose. This is worth doing.
Yeah. How important was building a strong team and scaling your business? What qualities did you look for in team members?
Oh, enthusiasm builds the team, literally. And, and maybe I could have been more discriminating and could have built a better team, but that wasn't my strong suit. I just worked with people who were interested in the topic. Because how do you build something? If you have a team, you need the team to be on the same page, right?
Yeah. All right, Udo, it's time for another quick break. We'll be right back after this. Hey, Salt Nation, you're listening to the Worth Your Salt podcast. I'm Jennifer Orechwa, and today I'm thrilled to be talking with Udo Erasmus, a true pioneer in the wellness industry and the visionary behind Udo's Choice. We'd love to hear how you're working to grow and thrive in your wellness business, so don't forget to join Salt Marketing over on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook and share your journey with us. So, Udo, for entrepreneurs just starting out in the health and wellness industry, what foundational steps would you recommend that they take?
I didn't try to create a narrative that is a BS narrative that I want to impose. It was just very genuine. I at one point I was in Sussex, England, and a guy came to my talk with his wife. And at the end of the talk, he came to me and he said, I work in MI6, the British Secret Service, right? And he said, the thing that I think is really beautiful. He says, you're actually genuine. You're not bullshitting us. You're just talking. And it's really rare in my field, of course, the Secret Service. It's really rare that somebody actually is honest. And I thought that was a nice compliment.
Mm-hmm. What are the key qualities that you believe are necessary for someone to succeed in this industry?
People are attracted to whatever it is. You call it enthusiasm, or you call it shine, or you call it passion, or it's like, I don't know what you call it, but there's something about a human being that's on fire that is super attractive.
How can emerging entrepreneurs differentiate themselves in a crowded wellness market?
If you think about what happens, sometimes people say what gets paid for gets done. Actually, that's not where the great innovations come from. The great innovations come from people out of enthusiasm, out of being on fire for something, out of coming up with an, oh my God, and they just get obsessed with an idea. And then they do work that nobody in their right mind would do, and nobody's paying them.
How can entrepreneurs balance their passion for health with the practical aspects of running a business?
I began to do a stillness practice. And why is that? Because if you want to know who you are, not just what everybody else is, but who you are, you have to spend time with yourself. You have to sit down and just try to be present in the space your body occupies. And in that space, you're actually going to discover that peace is already everywhere. But only peace knows that. And your access to peace, the peace that's everywhere, is in the core of your own being. So you got to sit still and bring your focus there to discover that. So now you have peace.
If you were to start your business journey all over again, what would you do differently and why?
In the time I have, how big, how long? I'm 82. I'm still inspired, but maybe 100 if I'm lucky. Maybe 110 if I'm really lucky. I pay pretty good attention to how I live. It's not a thing to figure out. People always say, give me a formula. And then people give you formulas and they sell you the formula and they give you these courses. You know what? You as an individual are so unique and your situation is so unique that the best way to find your purpose is to get fully present in the space your body occupies.
Finally, where can we learn more about you, about Total Health, and even purchase Udo's Choice products?
What we've talked about is part of what I'm working on. I feel like I'm just getting started too. I'm on Facebook. I have a YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. And if you put in Udo Erasmus on Google, I'm on the first page because anybody with a strange name like that ends up on the first page on Google.
Of course, links to all of Udo's social profiles will be on our website, as well as all the ways that you can connect with him at saltmarketing.co. Udo, thank you so much for joining me on this week's episode of Worth Your Salt.
All right. Thanks, Jennifer. I hope your listeners get benefit from it.
I also want to thank you, Salt Nation. If you have a great success story, I'd love to hear it. Tell us about why you're worth your salt by emailing us at grow@saltmarketing.co. Of course, be sure to subscribe to Worth Your Salt so you never miss an episode. Finally, leave us a review or give the show a handful of stars wherever you get your content. That's all for this episode of Worth Your Salt. Be sure to join me again next time. In the meantime, let's get out there and shake things up.